Hey guys, what's up? Long time no see. It's been a rough term, so I haven't had a whole lot of time. I know I said I would have more time, but saying things doesn't always mean that they're going to happen. I've learned that. I guess in my last video, I was talking about how I was sick. Yeah, well, like a week after that, I had my midterms, which were horrible. You need a 60% to pass at ICU. That's a passing grade. That's like the lowest 4D. I got 59.6 on that exam. So I avoided failing by 0.4% in the wrong direction. And that just, I don't know, that took a lot out of me. I had already been dealing with, I guess, various other issues. I would even go so far as to say that I was in a state of depression for a while during that time. And that didn't help, not one bit. And yeah, it was just really hard. Now, I won't say that this was not entirely my fault. Some would criticize my studying method. I don't know if I told you guys how I study for exams normally. For that one, and for the two prior to that, I would just, most people, when they study, what you want to do is you want to build your foundation of knowledge, like floor by floor, and then you go back and you reinforce those floors so it's like this solid fortress of 100% A+ material. Me, I just throw together a shack of whatever's easiest to pick up, like, the night before. Seriously, for my previous exams, what I would do is I would kind of put it off to the last day. I would fake myself into thinking I was studying. Be like, yeah, that's right, you looked at kanji today. You're such a good guy. And it'd be like 10 minutes. I'm like, man, I'm bored with this. I'm going to go, ride my bike or play video games. Get on Facebook and just stare at it and be like, wow, I wish I had something to do. Anyways, last day, of course, the procrastination goes through the day to 3 o'clock maybe? I think that's probably when I started. Yeah, about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, started oh shoot, I am, kind of shot myself in the foot with this one, haven't I? Yes, you have, Caleb. And so I'd be studying. And I would still be kind of procrastinating. I'd be taking little half hour, 45-minute, 3-hour breaks. Anyways, you get to 7, 8 o'clock. Oh, man. There's really no time left, is there? I am brilliant. Just, in the wrong ways sometimes. And so in my brilliance, I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to spend my time wisely. So, rather than sleeping, because you can function without sleep, go to a night cafe, drink coffee all night, study, do well on the exam. That's the intended plan. So I go to one of these. It's called Gusto. They're all over the place in Japan. And there's a drink bar there. I don't know how much it costs. It's 300 yen, 200 yen, something like that. And it's free drinks. They got sodas and they got coffee. And the thing is I don't drink soda normally. Because you can't really buy it here. I get, you can buy it in the vending machines, but that's just a pain, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spoiled. Yeah, I'm spoiled. I grew up sleeping on bamboo floors. I'm so spoiled. Anyways, I don't normally drink. I normally drink, milk tea or something like that in the mornings. And then, water out of the tap in my dorm, which is disgusting. I feel like it's giving me stomach aches. But I'm the kind of person that, do it for the sake of doing it. I don't care if it hurts me. I'm gonna hurt it back. Anyways, I never drink soda. And I don't really like coffee that much in other countries. In Papua New Guinea, where I grew up, one of my friends owned a coffee plantation, so I could go to his coffee plantation and get fresh coffee. He would give our family fresh coffee beans that we would ground up and have ourselves, and it was amazing. And then you go to, Starbucks, which I know a lot of people Starbucks is so great. I'm just Starbucks are they're the greatest liars in the world. They've somehow conned everybody into thinking their coffee is good. It's not. I promise. Anyways, I go and I'm like, I'm gonna drink coffee. And then I'm like, ooh, soda. I haven't had that in a while. I like soda. 3 cups of soda later, man, I can't really drink another cup of stuff. So it's like I went to the all-night bar. Never drank any coffee. Like, the way I'm studying kanji is horrible. Is just like repeating it over and over and over again. And like, that is the worst way to study kanji besides like not studying kanji at all. Like, they're almost equal in their horribleness. And like, I just kanji, I don't know how else to study it. I didn't really think it through. And since I was like last minute rushing, I was like, I gotta do something, you know, something's better than nothing. Well, you would think that, wouldn't you? No. Anyway, I was kind of like this dazed state of like, I was kind of high on the soda, and so I couldn't really focus on like the homework, but I couldn't exactly fall asleep either because, you know, like I was high on the soda, you know, like sugar rush, and I was just kind of like Jack Sparrow, and so then I went home at like 6 o'clock in the morning, took a bath, and then slept, went to the exam. Yeah, pretty much failed it. And that just, all of that was just like, ugh, and I really got down about it. And it was just, it was a bad time for me. Yeah, it was just hard. And I feel like I was focusing on the wrong things, and that was part of why it was hard. Part of it was I can't learn as fast as the class is going. Like, our teacher will give us a reading segment. I'll be reading it, like trying to understand every single thing in there, and I'll be like halfway through, and the teacher will be, all right, question time, and start asking questions and stuff. And I can answer like a question, like the first half of the reading, and then I go back to reading. I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this out before she asks me a question. And then it's like reading, and then all of a sudden, like, the room is silent, and you just notice it, and you're like, oh, she asked me a question, didn't she? You can just feel everybody staring at you, and you're like, oh, man. You, like, look up. もう一度ください. One more time, please. And she just rapid fires this question back. And since you've just been jolted from your, like, intense translation of the text, it just bounces off. It doesn't even go in the ear and out the other one. It just goes, and I'm just kind of like this dumbfounded face, trying to come up with something that'll solve the problem that's in front of me right now. And I'll just say something. Hope it's the right thing. It's never the right thing. It's not only not the right answer usually, it's usually just like improper grammar as well. So we'll spend like a good 5 or 6 minutes. And my classmates can attest to this at our classes. Like, I feel like we could have gotten like 3 terms worth of Japanese done if it weren't for the fact that I was in the class slowing everybody down. Yeah. And, yeah, that was just really hard for me. And I keep on saying that. Things were hard. Like I was going to use a metaphor, but I couldn't think of a clever one, so we'll forget that. Anyways, that is not the point of this. The point of this is that progressively, I have been getting better. Like the past 3 or 4 weeks of school, it hasn't been that bad. I've been understanding things better. I can answer questions better. Sometimes stuff still goes over my head. That's why I spike my hair up so I can block more stuff now. More of it gets caught here, and I'm like, I can understand it. Yes. So that is, it's been lifting my spirits, and I think I feel like I've been focusing more on the victories, and that helps. That honestly helps, guys. It helps a lot. Yes, it's super helpful, Caleb. We get it. Move on. This video's so long already. Okay, fine. Exam time, which was 2 days ago. Now, 2 days ago. Exam time is coming up. Had to write a paper, which really helped. The paper helped, actually. Like, you're like, oh no, more work. Normally. But actually, writing the paper helped me practice the kanji, practice my grammar. So it was a really good review. And that, coupled with the fact that I was like, man, I cannot do what I did before. I can't do it again. It's just, it hurts me physically. Like, I feel horrible after I get a stomach ache, like all this, just like the bad stuff. I know I'm not doing something. It hurts me mentally, and it hurts me spiritually. And, okay, so I gotta study more. So I did. I studied more this time. Now, I won't say I went from like 0 to hero when it comes to the study scale. No, I was like still like super crap at studying. Like one day I got up, I was like, okay, it's time to study, Caleb. And I was studying. And I was like, ah, man, I deserve a break. I'm going to go check Facebook. And I'm like browsing on Facebook, minimize Facebook, about ready to go sit back down, when all of a sudden a video game catches my eye. And I'm like, that looks fun. Kanji's not so much fun. That looks fun. I deserve that. So, okay, Caleb, 1 hour. 6 hours later, 6 hours later, I just shut the computer upside down. I shut it like that. I can do that with my computer. 6 hours I wasted on that game. But after that, I did study more. And especially the day before, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that stupid cafe thing. That's just dumb. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to study to the best of my ability in my room. I will study. And then I will accept whatever I get. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress over it. I will just try as hard as I can and hope for the best. And I will maintain that mentality throughout the exam. So, study the kanji, which kanji is the hardest. If you haven't understood that yet, for me always saying I'm studying the kanji, because I never say I'm studying the grammar. Grammar is kind of easy, kind of hard for me. It's like kanji is like, you can't even see it. It's all the way up there. And then like grammar is like, yeah, it's kind of hard. And then there's like, I don't know what else is down there. Those are the only two things. Well, I pretty much came up with a whole new way of studying kanji, for myself anyways, which worked really well, apparently. Because the next day, when I went into that kanji, I killed it. And I mean, like, I destroyed it. I slept from like 12 o'clock. Actually, I was pretty restless the whole night, but I went to bed pretty early. And I was feeling confident. I went into that classroom and I was like, I'm going to take this test. And I took it to the best of my ability. There were some pretty BS things on there. The reading especially was like about the first UN meeting about global warming and climate change. And there was a whole page dedicated to vocabulary that we didn't know. I kept on going back like, I don't know this kanji. Was I supposed to know this one? Look back at, oh, it's on the vocab list. 2 paragraphs later, it's the same kanji. It's like, shoot. When did we learn that one? It just took me a long time to read, and I'm not sure I understood all of it, but I answered it to the best of my ability, and I walked out of that test, and I was like, I was on cloud 9. I was done. Yes. Finally. Like, I don't care that there were things that I didn't understand. I don't care. I tried as hard as I could, and I'm happy that I tried as hard as I could, and I feel like I did well, or as well as was expected for as hard as I tried. I set my expectations realistically. I was like, okay, Caleb, you're not super academic. You're not studying super hard, so don't expect an A+, okay? I don't know why peace sign for A+. It's like, there's an A. That's probably offensive somewhere, or like a gang sign or something. Please don't hate me. The moral of the story. That was my life update, by the way. Nothing happened this whole term. The only place I ever went was church on the weekends. I just stayed inside the whole time. So, the moral of my story is that you can't let the tough things, the hard things, the things you get wrong, you can't focus on them too much, because I realized that's what I was doing. I was focusing on them, and I was completely ignoring like the things that I was getting right. And granted, I was getting more things wrong before, and it became easier once I started getting more things right. But I was focusing on these wrong things so much, and it was like each one of these wrong things was like becoming double the weight of like the amount of right things I was doing. So even if I was like 50-50 right and wrong, it was like 100%, 50% wrong versus right, and it was ruining me. And once I started focusing on the victories, I started improving. I started seeing, oh, you know what? I can understand what they're saying now. I can eavesdrop. No, I can't, not really, but I can eavesdrop a little bit. I was super stoked when I was reading this book, and I was like, I can skim this. I can Skim. I love skimming. Skimming is great. It's fantastic. I guess that's the end of this video, more or less. Focus on the positive things. And I won't say that I'm super happy now and that from now on things are going to be great. Because, you know what? If we only ever had to learn lessons once, we'd all end up perfect. No, I get that at some point it's going to get to the point where it's like, I mean, that's too much. It's too much. I can't do it anymore. And I'll probably have to learn the same lesson all over again. But for now, I'm happier. And, you know, that's pretty great. I like that. Things aren't perfect, but I'm happier. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you later, guys.